Hey, welcome to Stormy Chris, and this is Chris. So this is actually a series of 101 truths about me. Right, so yeah, you heard it right. It's a series. So I'm going to give you 101 facts about me. Number one. Right. Real name is Maria Cristina Tormes Abion. And fact number two, I was born on September 18, 1984. Yeah, and I'm a Virgo. So number three, I was born in Naga City in Camarines Sur, that's in Bicol region, region number 5. My parents' name are, my father's name is Stinson Bermejo Abion, and he was working for Casoreco 2. This is actually like Meralco in Manila. So Casoreco 2 is in Camarines Sur, right? So that's an electric company. And my mother's name is Flor Loares Tormes. Alright, that's my mother's maiden name. And she started working as a secondary high school teacher. But well, she retired as dean in Partido State University. My grandparents, my lolo on my father's side, his name is Tomas Abion. He was a guerrilla typist during the Japanese War here in the Philippines. And he was about to actually like run for mayor in Tinambak during that time, but he actually got really sick. He started to experience blindness because of diabetic complications during that time. So it never really happened, but he was an attorney. And my Lola's name is Lydia Bermejo Abion, and she was a housewife. On my mother's side, my lolo's name, I call him Tatay. His name is Andres Tormes, and he was a policeman. And my lolo's name is Agrippina Loares Tormes, and she was a mananahe. Right, so she's making clothes for people. But during the latter part, she has this sari store. So that's what she did when she retired. Okay. For fave colors, I used to like red when I was a kid. But then when I was in high school up to college, I love the color, I love blue. That's my favorite color. But towards the end of college, I started liking purple. So now my favorite colors are purple and white, but almost all my stuff are actually pink and black. It's weird, but I do love those colors as well. But yeah, so my favorite colors are purple and white, but my stuff are almost like black and pink. Right? But well, I do like a lot of colors now. I used to have only clothes that's actually black. So it's like I have tons of black clothes. My clothes are all just black. So it's just like I'm always like parang nagluluksa during that time because I was like a punk before. Alright, For childhood hobbies, I have a lot of hobbies actually when I was a kid. But I really love movies during the time. Like, especially the scary movies. My mom actually like sponsors like movies, like they're doing like educational movies, film showing in there's only one theater in Tinambak before. So my mom always talked to Alex Bichara, that's the owner of Bichara Mall, yeah, Bichara um, Cinema in Naga City. So, but my first date happened because I had this friend, a guy friend, and we were like really bored. And he said, well, he was the son of the former mayor in Tinambak before. So we're friends, and he said, I said like, I'm bored. What are we gonna do today? And he said, okay, let's watch a movie. I said, okay, let's go. So we went to the cinema, and yeah, no, we're really too young, right? We shouldn't be allowed to enter there without our parents. But since the people knew us, they let us in. And you know, what's funny is that the movies are really for adults. I think that was a Tagalog movie. I'm not sure of the title, but I think it was called Red October. So it was like about a gang who actually robs banks, and they had this really like, it's not for kids, no. The movie is really not for kids, and we were like sitting there and we're like, oh my god, what are they doing? Because they're like, they had kidnapped this girl after they robbed a bank, and they raped the girl, and they were torturing the girl with cigarettes. So like, and we were staring there and like, oh my god, what are we doing? And it was really a shock. So that's it. And the other movie, because there's always two movies like in a session during that time. So the other movie was like, it was about a dance. It's still it's still an adult movie. So it was, I think, lambada or something. So the people are actually dancing and all, and there's sexy scenes as well. And so right, and our parents were actually looking for us during that time, and they were looking everywhere, they say, and they found us there at the cinema. Like, it was, I guess, the last full show. I'm not sure. I think we're like kinder during that time. I'm not really sure now, but I guess we were kinder. We were in kindergarten, because I think I'm still wearing the uniform. We were still wearing the uniform. And our parents were like, they found us. It was the last full show, so probably that's around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. And when they found us, and they like, hey, what did you do to? I said, we're just watching a movie. I was like, you know, you're not supposed to watch a movie without your parents there. But said, they let us in, right? So it was my first date. Well, but I know the guy is actually gay. We knew when we were kids that he was gay. That's why his father is always punishing him during the time. Well, I'm not sure if it's okay for him to actually, for me to actually mention his name here, but our classmates in Tinambak during that time, they know who's the guy. All right, so he was my first date. I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. I'm not really sure anymore. But yeah, he's gay. Now he's out. Right, and we're still friends. Right, yeah. So that's about it. Okay, and the next fact. Okay, so since we're already talking about movies, right? So I was really addicted to movies before, and you know what? What fuels that addiction? Because actually, my father supplied me a lot of movies. We're using VHS then, right? So we have VHS tapes, and my father had these niece. She was working for Sylvester Stallone as a secretary before. Yeah, so yep, the Hollywood star Rambo. Yeah, she was working for him as a secretary. So she's sending the VHS tapes, all sorts of Hollywood movies, from the scary ones to Disney movies, everything. And right, and of course the Sylvester Stallone movies. That's why I grew up watching his movies. Right, so from Tango and Cash, Rumble, Cash and what is it? Cash and Carry some more. Frick. Yeah, Cliffhanger. So I've watched all of those. Now she's sending that to our uncle. I think his name is Uncle Alex. So we actually went to Sugod because his house is in there, and he was like, oh, just lend them for free. But my dad is really like, the pride. Said, no, 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 I'm not going to get it for free. Then, but they agreed like 5 pesos for each tapes. Right, so it's almost like free, but then, well, they agreed to that because the other one doesn't want to get it for free. The other one wants it to give it for free. So they agreed in the middle, so it's 5 pesos for VHS tape. So that's why they are. So I got my fix from that. That's why I watch almost all sorts of movies. So right. Well, thank you for that, Auntie. I haven't seen you like even once, but well, thank you so much. So I grew up with Hollywood movies because of your VHS tapes. Thank you so much. I'm not sure wherever you are right now. So there. Now the next thing is that when, well, okay, so there goes the cable, right? So another relative, like my dad's nephew, actually put up the first cable TV in Tinambak, and it's called Andy Cable TV. So now, so what I'm doing is actually I always visit their office because I was really fascinated in how it works. So it was the first in Tinambak. So I'm like, okay, I wanted to know how this works. So I keep visiting their office and checking what are they doing something, and I always request the movies that I want them to actually show in their own on their own channel. So right, yeah, it was really fun. Alright, my childhood fave food is actually kalabasa. It's squash, alright, or pumpkin, whatever you want to call it. So, right, so that's, I don't know, but I don't really eat any other vegetable during that time, but I really love kalabasa. Grade 2, most my cousins introduced to me the talong or eggplant. Prinito siya, so it's like fried eggplant. So now I have few vegetables that I really like to eat. So the kalabasa and eggplant. That's it. But the rest, I don't eat vegetables really. And I'm way too addicted to hot dogs during the time. My childhood fave song is by Whitney Houston. It's called The Greatest Love of All. Right, and I sang that when I was in grade 4 with Couples for Christ and Kids for Christ party. I have this one song I always practice with the VHS tapes. That's how we do videoke before. It's really, really high. There's a confession. I actually grew up with branded stuff. And because my father especially, well, both of them, they like branded stuff. And my father really likes, imported ones. So that's why I'm actually like doing something, like I'm correcting it because I'm the one that's actually like I actually like local brands now. So I'm more like that. But I grew up with my parents liking branded stuff that's actually imported. So my dad has really great taste in clothes, and his clothes are like Tommy Hilfiger, whatever. I can't remember anymore how to pronounce it. Well, I guess I just disregard it now because I actually had like heard. I mean, he actually stated that he's only making clothes for white people and not for brown monkeys. So I stopped liking him during that time. Because when I was already working for AT&T, there has been like a recording I've heard when he talked to someone, and I think he was talking to, I guess, with someone from American Express, and he stated that talking to from knowing that he was talking to an Asian, and he said that he's only making clothes for white people, not for brown monkeys, because probably brown monkeys can afford his clothes. But oh well, my dad has your clothes before, and yeah, I was using it when I turned like when I actually was in high school and college. So I had his clothes. I was using his clothes after he died, and he has your some yeah the brand, and I like the Maui and Sons shirts, and he likes W Brown. I still use the W Brown pants as well, and Paddocks, and a lot more. Can't remember, but I really like the Maui and Sun shirts, and I do have the Michael Jordan 23 shirt. It's a white shirt with red numbers 23. I really love that. I used to actually wear it when I was in college. It's number 11. Okay, so I put it in here because 11 is naonse, right? So this is the reason why I stopped believing in Philippine educational system, right? You know why? Because I had this best friend when I was in kinder. Well, I agreed with that because she actually started in St. Joseph School. So before she transferred to Tinambak and she started kinder, she already started she started already in that school. So she taught me Chinese, how to count in Chinese and how to read in Chinese. She had all these books from St. Joseph. So I keep reading it, so I know how to count in Chinese before, and I know how to read in Chinese before. So she knows how to speak in English and how to read in English as well. And I was just starting to actually do good in those areas. So I agreed. So when we graduated, she was valedictorian and I was salutatorian in kinder. And I'm okay with that. Grade 1, I level up. So the teachers can no longer like choose who will be the first honor. So we ended up being first, both of us, during grade 1. Then when we were in grade 2, I'm supposed to be the first, but I've done stupid stuff. Right. First time I learned the word stubborn. because it was written in my report card. Like, I I break things. I've broken things during that time. Like I always play the xylophones and the drums whenever the teacher says is not around. And yeah, so I'm so pasaway. So that's why I know I was bitten because of my being pasaway. 3. So friend of mine actually went somewhere else. So I'm always like the first. I'm getting every recognition day. I am the first. So I get the award of the first honor in the class. So I was like, the whole school was actually expecting me to be the valedictorian during the grade 6 graduation. But then there comes this. What happened? I have never really discussed this to anyone, but I think I need to speak up about it now. So I was in grade 6 and I was like, I was the editor-in-chief for our school's publication. By the way, that's the first school publication that was established during our time. And I keep like winning contests everywhere. And like we all started joining the press conference about the writing. So I was the feature writer, and I'm the only one who actually reached the original press conference that was actually held in Albay. The rule before is that if you're absent and you're competing for the school, whatever is the highest score for whatever test that was actually conducted when you were competing and you were absent in school, you'll get the same highest score. If someone got 98, then since you're absent but you're competing for the school, you get 98 as well, right? So it was clear. So I'm like, then there comes the result, and they said I'm just like the first honorable mention. And I was like, how did that happen? Right? So I was wondering, I was okay if I can be like the salutatorian, so okay, fine, because I can still make a speech, right? But I think the school actually planned it because they don't want me to say anything, because I might make a commotion because of that. Because the whole town was actually expecting me to be the valedictorian. And if they give me the salutatorian and I will still have to give a speech, I might actually create a commotion, right? So there, they decided I will only be like the first honorable mention. And like, how will that happen? Like, since the first we started, like grade 1 up to grade 6, I'm always the first up to grade 5, and now grade 6, I will be just your first honorable mention. We filed an appeal to the district superintendent or district supervisor. And after the hearing, they actually claimed, alright, they admitted it, that they said the school admitted, and the district supervisor as well said that yes, you should be the valedictorian, but since it was already declared, we can no longer like claim it back. We cannot give the valedictorian awards to you. So it was like that. And when I asked as well, why it's like I need to be the first honorable mention, why not the salutatorian, right? And there's this stupid explanation. My advisor then said, well, just give it to my niece because at least you can afford to go to a decent school in high school. But my niece, she can't afford to actually pay for a private school in high school. So just give it to her. Just, she needs the scholarship to enter University of, what is it? UNC, University of No Classes. University of Nueva Cáceres. Alright, because that's my goal as well. I got a full scholarship in that school because my entrance examination was really, it was way too high. I qualified for the requirements. Even I was just like I only got first honorable mention. So, but my mother decided to enroll me in a public school because she said that maybe I can't sustain the scholarship, right? So see how like she doesn't believe in me. She was actually blaming me for being first honorable mention, even though she actually like heard from the district supervisor's mouth that I was the valedictorian in real. It's just that they can't actually claim back or give the rights to me because it was already announced to everyone, and the school might be the laughing stock during that time. But still my mom was blaming me for that, and she was like, no, I will not enroll you even if you have full scholarship in UNC because you might not be able to sustain it. I don't believe in you. You might just like, and I was like, maybe if I can't sustain it, I can just transfer to another school that we can afford during that time. Because my father is actually getting sick already during that time. So she was thinking about the expenses as well for that. But still, I can't get her logic sometimes. Right? So there you go. So that's why I never really like do anything. Like I never really exerted effort when I was in high school. It's like, okay, this is another public school and politics is all over here, so I'm not going to waste my time and exert effort. Then I will just like end up like having something I don't deserve, right? Because of politics or something. This one. This is really weird, but how altruistic my dad is, it's really different from my mom. They're really contrasting. They have contrasting personalities. Like, the guy I dated, yeah, my first date, that's the guy. So we're friends. So yeah, I told you he's gay. Even when we were kids, we knew it. And he was like, can I lend that shoes, like that high heels? And my mom said, no, you can't. You can touch it. And then we saw her after a few minutes burning all the shoes. And we were like, why can't you just give it to us so we can play with it? And we're like, I was really like, ngayon parang kawang-kawa ako dun sa kaibigan ko. Because it's like, she doesn't need to, she's just going to burn it. Why can't she just give it to us or give it to him so we can play with it, right? I don't know. Sometimes I think she's sick. Alright, so this is number 13. Well, yep. During the time, the word FOMO does not exist yet. Right? So it's fear of missing out. But yeah, it's the right term for this situation. Because actually, the day I discovered that I don't have like FOMO or fear of missing out was when my family left me. and they were all like, cause my mom wants everything to, she says something, I want this, I want you to do this, and if you don't really follow that, like in a snap, she's just going to leave you. And since my dad is really like, he's really, I mean, he's just letting my mom decide for everything. So it's like they left me, and they were like, and when they go to somewhere, they always have like this photographer that's actually taking pictures of them, even though there's no occasion or whatsoever. And then after a few days, like, well, that's the time I'll learn actually how to enjoy just being with myself. I mean, before I cried really a lot every time they left me. But then after that, I mean, like, I realized I'm getting stronger. So it's like for the latter part, I'm like, I don't care anymore if you leave me here. So there. So when there comes the pictures after a few days, they're like, so here, we went here, we have pictures. And they're like, oh, hindi ka nakasama, yung kasi. And I'm like, I don't care. I've enjoyed my time here alone at home. Right? So I'm just like, I don't have fear of missing out. I enjoy my own company. It's like the whole world can party and I can stay in my own room having a blast alone. Another one. So this is the day that I actually realized I need to adjust to blend in to people. Well, you know, because I'm really good in a lot of things when I was a kid. So I'm good in Chinese garter, in limbo rock, and all of those. But since I'm really that good, the kids I'm playing with, they're no longer wanting me to join. Because it's like, it's either they want me in their side, which can't be, right? Because I can only be in one team. But both teams want me, because they know if I'm part of their teams, they'll never have to beat Taya, right? So it's like there's no dead end. We're not going to like hold the ropes, because we'll always be the one playing. Because you know, I can, how do you say that? I don't know how to express this in English, but you have to, I mean, kayang buhayin lahat every time na hindi na kaya. So in Chinese garter, like you have to have like there 12 like tangkal, something like that. So the high is there, so everyone can't actually do it anymore, but I still can. So I always like revive everyone. So it's like we're the team that I'm in, we're always playing because I can always revive everyone. So that's, and I realized, and they're like, so I actually asked my dad to buy me like the elastico or the rubber bands. I have all of those, and I make it like really sturdy by using like, the most I can do with my hands actually 12 or 10, I guess 10 bunch of rubber bands in one go for the Chinese garter ropes. So I have that. So it's like they don't have a choice but to let me join because I own the rubber bands, the rope, right? So right, that's it. But everyone knows, whoever I'm in, whatever team I'm in, we're not going to lose. Right? So what we do is just like, we exchange people. Like, I'm gonna be in this team for now, and then after a while I'm gonna be in this team for a while. So everyone can play. But I'm always playing. I'll never lose. That's a fact. The day I started hating to go to parties. Well, my dad loves parties, so there's always a party in our house during that time. And well, But what I do experience about that is that every time I'm there, like they're going, I'm just like on the second floor, and I can hear them downstairs while I'm on the second floor. And our visitors are like, asa yung pangalan nyo, yung ang itim-itim, ang payat-payat. And we're like, okay, fine. And we're just looking for like, okay. So I think that actually started my insecurities, because they're always like telling me I'm ugly, I'm too skinny, I'm too dark. So, and I was like, you're in my house, would you like me to kick you? And I was like, I was in the second floor, and I'm alam mo yun, pagkadimunita ko, parang gusto kong buhusan ng tubig sa second floor para mabasa yung nasa baba. So I stopped attending parties during that time. I don't like parties anymore, especially with adults like that. So why I'm always get in trouble, like punching kids when I was in grade school. You know why? Because they always like, there's a yellow, I was wearing a yellow shirt then, and I was like, crush ko to naka-yellow. And I was like, ano sabi mo? There. Okay, so, was it? I don't know, that's why my classmates in grade school, when he talked to me in actually on Facebook, like recently, it was like, you're still not changing, you're still like the the kid in grade school, like you keep punching people. I mean, right now you don't punch people anymore, but you're like, I mean, siga pa din. It's like, oh, whatever. Because people are like, when they tell me you're pretty, I have a crush on you, and it's like, ugh, it gets on my nerves, and I punch them. Well, I'm way too insecure before. I mean, I don't know if I'm pretty or not, because some people say this and some people say this. My mom say this and my dad say this, so I'm really confused, right? So that's why in grade school it seems that I'm good in everything, like everything, right? But there is one worry that I have, and you know what? The sports that I'm really bad at, it's baseball. Like, I'm not sure, like I really can't hit the ball. I don't know why. I guess I'm too ADHD. I have an ADHD. That's why I really can't concentrate in hitting the ball. So I'm really worst in playing baseball. Like, ever. So I don't like that sports. I'm bad at it, as in. Alright, so this one was like, so I was confused if I'm actually pretty or not, right? But then that day I discovered, I was like, I keep thinking if it's for real, because it was like the basketball team of San Pascual, because we live in San Pascual. That's the street we live in, Barangay San Pascual in Pinambak. And they went to our house, the whole basketball team, and they were asking my dad if I can be their muse. And my dad was like, okay. He said, Nini, mamuse ka da. And we're like, no way, no way, I'm not gonna do that. So what I did is I ran and hid at our restroom. And I told my dad, shouting, I'm not going out here. I'm not going to leave this restroom unless they leave our house. So, my dad can't do anything. He said, well, she doesn't want to. So, just find someone else. Right? But my dad was really like, dapat, ganyan ka na, dapat pumayag ka na. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Next thing, this is the day I was like really, really shocked. Because people were like, I'm still young. I don't know. My mom actually let me wear this really like, is that a skimpy clothes? It's like the leggings, it's really fitted. So, and we're like, she let me wear, this those shirts that you use during exercise, something like that. So it's a bit like haltered, and so I was wearing that in this really this leggings that's actually really like curve hugging, and people were like commenting, oh, and they're like, oh, dalaga na pala yung anak mo, and they're shocked because they said my body looks like they're comparing it with a Filipina actress, and her name is Vivian Velas. So that was it, and it's kind of like creepy, attracting a lot of attention, just wearing something like that. I was like, why did you let me wear this? Oh, I don't know what happened with my mom during that time. But I guess it was uso during that time. That's why. Okay. If you can notice from now, I think almost a lot of revelations or weird things actually happened to me when I was 10 years old. I was in grade 4. So right, that year also I discovered how good my heart can be, and I realized I'm doomed because of that. Because we had this like I don't know why, but there are a lot of foreign doing health operations in our town. So they had another one. So I think they're Americans. They actually have like an operation, a free operation for people with cataract during that time. So I searched all over Tinambak to actually look for someone who needs help with that. And I actually went to Old Kalwan. Remember the Old Kalwan? So I reached that place, and I got like a really old woman who has cataract, and he needs really an operation for it, and obviously she cannot afford it. So I actually visited her, and I told her, okay, there will be like a cataract operation today. Will you be able to actually come with me? Because I actually borrowed, actually I didn't borrow, I actually like car nap, is that bike nap, my other lolo's bicycle. So they're not aware of it, about it. Yeah, so I bike nap it. Right, pasaway, diba? So I went to Old Kaalwan so to fetch the woman. And when I went there, she said she has a lot of excuses. I mean, the things, those people that they say, I can't do it, nakakahiya, and all those things. I was like, bakit ka mahihiya? I mean, we're trying to help. I mean, there are a lot of foreigners here that will actually help you. It's free. All you have to do is come with me, and then your problems with your eyes will be fixed. And so it's like I keep like I actually, I don't know, pero ang hirap niya talagang i-encourage. But yeah, so that was the time I said, okay, please, please, please. I almost cried in front of the woman and her family. And I was like, why is it so difficult to help people? I mean, I'm doing all those things. I bike now this bike so I can actually fetch you because I know you can't really walk because it's too far. So I'm getting all the help already. I'm doing everything for you. All you have to do is just hop on and everything will be good. And I'm willing to actually like, alam mo yun, parang okay pa ako kahit ihatid pa kita pabalik. It was like, why it's so difficult to help people. And yeah, so eventually she agreed because I already cried. I was like, can you just please come with me? Right, so there. So yeah, so I was happy for that woman. Her cataract got fixed during that day. Right. But I know, I was doomed. So there is another medical operation that was conducted by Americans. I'm not really sure. I think everything before was like Americans for me. But I think they are. I can't remember anymore. But it was a medical operation of anything that they can do. So they're actually offering me. I was already like laying on the bed, and the American said, would you like to remove your birthmark? Yeah, see, so here's my birthmark. It is actually not, it's not a hickey, okay, it's not a labite, it's a birthmark. So pinaglihi ako sa meatballs, so that's why they said I have this. So it looks like a meatball here, and it was really huge before in Imbos, and I always scratch it before because it is really itchy until it bleeds. So scolded because of that, because it's always like bleeding because I keep scratching it. So there, and the doctor said, would you like to remove it? Would you like us to remove it, have it operated? And I asked the doctor, is there a chance that if I don't undergo the operation, it will just be like it will just vanish? And he said that it is possible that it will just vanish when I grow old, but it's just small now and it's flat, but it's still there. But I'm okay with it. Well, I'm really too scared about knives and operation surgery before, so I don't think I will agree to that as well, even for now. So here, so I still have it here. So that's a birthmark. So my mom actually realized I will be like a stubborn child, because I was like, I'm not sure, I can't even remember this, but they said I was still like a baby and I was learning how to say things, to talk or to speak. And I called our like maid, my yaya. Her name is Martes, and I keep calling her, according to my mom, I keep calling her Titit Dada. It means Martes Soplada. So they said, like, your baby is like, I'm not sure how many, maybe I'm 2 years old, probably. I don't know. I don't know. They just told me this, and they said whatever they do with the crib, I'm always able to climb it. But what you gotta do? I'm really that stubborn. Okay, so we're on 23, like MJ 23. Right. So these are the things that actually we did with Papa, with my father. So we love watching wrestling, like from Hulk Hogan, and there's this, I forgot the other names of the wrestler, but we always watch it. And basketball, of course. So I love watching Michael Jordan, and also PDA. Um, he he likes. Wait, I think I like Pure Foods before Alvin Patrimonio, and he likes that too. But my younger sister, the one that actually died, she likes Alaska, and I forgot the name of the player that she likes before in Alaska. I guess I don't remember the face of the player, but can't remember the name anymore. But she's Alaska. My dad and I are actually Pure Foods because we like Alvin Patrimonio. Right there. Yes. And we love Joy Rides. Like, I think almost every Saturday and Sunday. So we either go to the rivers or to the beach to swim, or to like somewhere in like near the Sabungan. So we always drove there. Alright. There, and there is still a lot of things. We like swimming like everywhere. Like Casa Rica actually has a lot of parties and swimming parties, not much. And my father has like an organization with his friends. It's called Jocons, right? So I've learned that word when I was still a kid, because their organization or club name is actually Jocons, right? So we always have like Christmas parties with that, with his friends. Number 24. Okay, let's talk about something serious. Have you ever like experienced like, something's wrong is happening to you? You can't really seem to know about it because you're still too young to actually figure it out, but you can feel that it's not right. Something is not right. Well, here. So I was like 3 years old, I think. I don't know, because I just when I started like having like real thoughts, I just discovered that it's already happening to me, but I can't explain it. But I feel that there is something wrong with it. So we always have yayas, right? We're 3 sisters, and each of us had our own yaya. So we have 3 mates, right? One for me, one for the middle child, one for the youngest child. So, but there are times that I think the maids or the yayas leave us. So we needed my parents, since they needed to work. They're actually like iniiwan nila kami sa pinsan namin. Yun. So, like, yung pinsan ko yung nagtumatay yung yaya ko for a day or something. Until may makuha na kami bagong yaya. So, there. So, I was like this kid. I don't know. I really felt something is actually off with what's happening to me, but I can't tell my mom, because she's always like the one, if you tell her something that happened to you, either good or bad, you're always the one to be blamed. So at that very young age, I decided not to tell her, because I don't know what she will do to me if I tell her about it. So I didn't. Now, it continued happening to me like multiple times. Every time we don't have a yaya or a maid, and that cousin of mine took care of me, it happened. So, I was like 7 years old. I've watched this on TV I still can remember it. It's on Maalaala Mo Kaya. And the actress was Vina Morales. And that's when I realized that the same thing that's happening to her when she was a kid, that's exactly what's happening to me. So, right, I got the name for what's happening to me during the time. Yes, I was raped. So that's about it. When I watched that Maalaala Mo Kaya, I realized that's what's happening to me. So what I'm doing when I realized that, I was like 7 years old and I was thinking whether I'm pregnant or not. Because I'm not aware that kids can't be pregnant during that time. So I've never told any soul about it. But what happened is that every time my mom is actually asking me to go with that cousin, I really said to her that I don't want to go with him. But what she did is she's going to scold me or something just to go with that cousin. And I was like, here we go again. And so every time they have to leave, like go on a vacation or something, I always ask them if they can just leave us with a neighbor rather than leave us at my Lola's house. Because you know what will happen again, right? But so it had been like a cycle. But when I was like in grade 2, I knew already how to actually like defend myself. So I always lock our house every time. But I never really told my dad. That was actually one of my regrets. I'm not sure, because I don't want to be like a burden to him, and I don't know how he's going to handle that. Well, so I never did. He died without knowing it. Now, when it happened that I actually was like depressed, I told my mom about it. Like I said, this has been happening to me since I was a kid. And well, you know what she said? She said, just forget about it. It happened. I mean, ang tagal na nun. So, kalimutan na lang natin. And I was like, okay, I think I did it. I should have just have not told you anything about it anymore. I mean, it's been like that. It's been with 2 cousins actually. You see? So it's not really like, what is it, because of the clothes that you wear? I was freaking like 3 years old, like 7 years old, 8 years old, and so well, I've actually read this, that there is a certain tribe in Africa that the women there almost are half naked because they don't have the clothes and their tribe can't afford it. So they're almost half naked, but you can't really find any case of rape there. So, you know what? Tulfo actually said we have to be careful with what we wear. It's like, are you trying to like blame the victims? I mean, we have the right to wear whatever we want. And you have the right, I mean, to be responsible on how you feel. It's like, it's not our responsibility how you behave in this society, right? No matter how a girl wear, I mean, no matter what we wear, it's not our responsibility if we if you actually rape us, right? So I mean, if a girl says no, it means we don't like it, right? So that's why you're violating us, right? Because if we like it, we're not going to say no, right? So how come you're actually blaming us for your reactions, right? It's not our responsibility. You see? It's just a stupid idea, right? When you have to blame the victims for experiencing it. That's stupid, actually. Well, that's about it. Here's the last one. It's the 25th, right? So, what is it? 25th, right? Okay, so why I still believe that good men still exist, right? Because of what my father actually said. Well, my father said as an example of that. Well, here, well, my father is like, you know, the crush nobody during his time, and even kids actually adore him, and a lot of girls really like him. He actually told us a lot of stories, and yeah, most of his friends told us that too. Well, in like, you know, so he was a typical like womanizer or something like that. But when he met my mother, he actually changed for good. Like I am a witness to that. Like he was actually with girls that actually women that had crushes with him, and you know the women are actually like on him also. So we were just there, we were kids, and there are these women that will actually literally hit on him, and he was just like he's just going to brush it off, you know. So I'm like, right. So I mean, so I'm really like hats off to my father about it, right? So I mean, he can be this good looking guy, and he can have every woman actually like showing themselves to him, but no, he has his control. He just laugh it off and brush it off, and all. Well, I don't know, right? But he fell in love with my mom, and it's just about everything about there. So that's why I still believe that good men still exist because of my father's example. So my first 25 sets of truths, 101 truths about me. Yeah, so if you do like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Right, so this will be a series, right? So I said that. So I don't know when I'm going to do the next one, but yeah, so just stay tuned, and right, you have a great day, everyone. Bye. Peace out, yo. Hey, so my best friend got me Greenwich pizza. Yay. Right, and they're my favorite flavors. For grade school, and I was in the valedictorian during the graduation ceremony. Well, my favorite teacher, she was Mrs. Otilia Clavo, and what happened is that she was my teacher in kindergarten and grade 1 as well, and she's always been my coach for every contest that I actually joined, like pakikinig at pagsasalita, the feature writing, and all those stuff and other things. So what she did, you know what, during the graduation ceremony for that, it was like she said she was really happy, like she announced my awards really well, like insulting the people there. And it was like, because I wasn't a valedictorian, but I got all the important awards like best in math, best in English, best in science, best in all. And you know what's the award of the valedictorian? It was like most industrious, most kind. See, so she was like, she said, when, because I didn't attend the graduation. My father asked me what I wanted to do. And I'm glad my mom actually agreed with that. So I said, I'm not going to attend the graduation. I said, I'm going to Naga City. And I said, Pa, can I like enroll in a summer workshop? So I did the Lika. The name was Lika Summer workshop. So it was like for painting, drawing. That's where I learned cross stitching, right? So everything like the arts about painting, sketching, and all those things. So that's what I did instead of actually like joining the graduation. So my father is always had been preparing for my graduation because the whole town's actually expecting that I will be the valedictorian, but it did not happen. So it's like the pig that's supposed to be, he's going to actually have it like a lechon. So I told my father, just sell it. We don't need to actually like make traders eat like for free again, enjoy our parties when in fact they did not give us, I mean, what I deserve, right? So yeah, so we agreed with that. And during the graduation ceremony, my favorite teacher said she announced it like really, really good. And like the people there were like, I don't know, probably she said that they were really laughing at the valedictorian, the salutatorian, because they're like, are you sick? That's your valedictorian, and all the award she's getting is just about being most industrious, most kind. What else? What most can it be? And I'm getting all the good awards. Like I got 13 awards, and well, I think my mother still had all those awards, like the envelopes at home about it. So I've read it like before, and I said, wow, I'm getting all those necessary awards, right? So it's still right, it's really a good deal that I was really the valedictorian, and no one can ever really claim that right. So everyone knew the truth in that town. So I mean, I'm like, who are you fooling, right? I might not had that privilege for that, I wasn't declared, but everyone knows who is the real valedictorian, right? I guess so. Yeah, so all's well that ends well. And yeah, you never had a party that you were all dreaming of during that time. Because, yep, I was enjoying my part with a summer workshop, and I've learned way more there, and I enjoy that more rather than throwing a party for, you know, well, right there. So, well, let's just eat.